Okay, today we're going to look at Xavier Rhodes in the Vikings Week 1 game against the 49ers. Starting off there in loose man, he's at the bottom of the screen down here. He gets a quick little hitch route, slow tempo back pedal, breaks in the upfield shoulder. A pretty good job there. Now he's up top. All right, we got the bunch look there. It's a tight formation on the bottom. This puts him in a tough spot. Anytime you're in man, you're lined up that deep, and your guy's going all the way across the formation, that puts you in a pretty tough spot. He's coming across with it, but that's going to put him in a bit of a predicament there, trying to cover that route. Okay, now he's at the bottom in cover 4. All right, so he's responsible for a deep field zone. He's going to back pedal out. All right, really nothing coming his way. All right, kind of shuffling actually out. Doesn't really get pressed. All right, and then he reacts to the action going on inside here, but doesn't really, not really getting there, not really like, crazy speed getting there or anything like that. But the play is in an adjacent zone, so he should be starting to think about that and work over in that direction. Now he's going to be in press man on the top of the screen. Okay, receiver gets an outside release. Good hips with this. Lines up real well with where he wants to be, right on the guy's hip. Okay, it's a run play, yep. But when you are in man coverage, you got to keep your eyes on the man. You're not always going to know what's going on in other areas, and that's what happens here. So he's doing his job. He's going to count on the other 10 guys in the field to do their job in this one. Top of the screen again. Okay, again, he's pressed. This could be a run play. Now, all right, it's a little bit more evident that it is a run play. So he starts to engage on the blocker. He ends up getting wiped out by another guy coming in. Looks like a high-low at first. It's really not. It's just the other blocker kind of whiffed on his block. Now he's at the bottom of the screen. Again, he's pressed. Good hips, but now he's actually too close to the man. All right. There's a saying, if he's even, he's leaving. All right. Right now, you're going to see he's able to run that comeback, and Rhodes basically flies right by him, ends up falling down in transition. But that comeback's open. That's a first down throw all day if Jimmy G's looking that way. So he wants to stay slightly behind that route, so he is in position to see the receiver's hips and to adjust more quickly so he can make a play on that deep comeback route. Okay, again, at the bottom of the screen, he's pressed. All right, we talked about him being too tight before. Now he's too loose, but horizontally. All right, he gives up just a little bit too much space in there, and obviously, the play doesn't progress very far. It is a run, but you don't want to give up space this direction either. That gives the quarterback room to put the ball in there. All right, and you're still beat like that. He's got to cut down that space if this play progresses a little bit here. Up at the top of the screen now, he's playing loose. He's going to be in a cover 3 look here. Kind of ends up getting wasted when they put the fullback out there. All right, but he's going to backpedal, tempo backpedal out. Needs to stay on top of anything in that deep third zone, and he's in pretty good position here. The fullback does start to kind of eat his cushion a little bit, but at that point, especially when it's a fullback, you got to understand the matchup, and you got to have confidence in your ability. If that was a speedy receiver out there, if that's Garcon or Goodwin or somebody, he's going to want to slow that, speed up his back pedal a little bit, make sure he's staying on top of him. But in this particular case, not really a major issue. He's going to be at the bottom of the screen here, playing loose. Okay, he turns a little bit quicker than he needs to, which opens up the receiver cut off underneath. The receiver is going to break in right here. That's going to be a problem when he's got his hips turned. But pretty smooth transition. Again, just giving up too much space horizontally. Let's cut this down. Let's cut that down right there. Get real tight on him. Make the receiver really lace that thing into the sideline if they're trying to make that throw there. Again, it's a run play. I get it, but to the corner of the situation, it's not a run play. You gotta be playing the pass until you know it's a run. All right, this one is a run play. This one's a run play from the get. All right, as that block occurs in the safety, he's gonna want to come up and play on that once it's declared as a run. Becoming really a secondary contained player, but he can be more aggressive on that. Next drive. Okay, we're in the second quarter now. He's going to be up at the top of the screen. Real nice, smooth transition. All right, he's getting a better position, but look, again, he's even with the receiver. That allows him to cut back and get open, really, on that deep comeback route. Ball's gone by that time, but still, it's about his position where he's at. You always got to be looking at what the corner's doing on the play, even if the ball doesn't come to him, because the ball's not going to come to him a lot. And corners are going to get away with screwing up sometimes. So you got to look at every single play. So, making sure, hey, you got lucky that you didn't get in trouble on this one. So you gotta make sure you're getting it right next time, because the next time they might be looking at you. Those are big time adjustments for them making the sideline. Okay, so at the top. All right, matches up well. He's in pretty good position with this underneath, running right on his upfield shoulder. Not really going to be able to be underneath on that one, but he's in position that he can at least secure the tackle and should be able to get a handover and make a play on the ball if that's where the ball does go. All right, using his hands quite a bit here. And this is something that's going to get him in trouble sometimes. Still pretty close to the line of scrimmage. Kind of in a gray area there. We're a little bit past 5 yards there. So, he is risking getting the penalty when he's using his hands that much. Okay. This is tough. Goodwin gets wiped out here, which is fortunate. You see all the time in practice and 7-on-7 drills and things. Your receivers running these routes that go right along the line of scrimmage. That does not really work when you put an offensive line and a defensive line in there. And Goodwin's learning that lesson on this one. But because of everything else that's going on underneath here, Rhodes is really in a tough spot. If Goodwin can sneak by there, he's going to be wide open. We've got 3 other defenders that he's got to get by here. These guys are all playing the run action. All right, it's a boot. That guy gets wiped out, and he's pretty lucky. Otherwise, the only thing he's really going to be able to do is once this clears to break and get tighter on it. But he's staying in position where he's going to be at least on top of it, at least able to make a tackle. A lot of playing DB is being in position and being able to make a tackle. You cannot make a play on every single ball, man, but especially in zone coverage. So you got to be able to come up and make a tackle. You got to be in position to make a tackle and really, live the fight another day, so to speak. All right, here's going to be in loose man. At the bottom of your screen. All right, tempo's out, turns his hips a little early, and we see what happens with that. So that receiver is able to break inside. If this thing progresses, he's going to be in a tough spot. He's got to rally and hope he can make a tackle on it. But that receiver, because he turned his hips out before the receiver got to him, that receiver is able to cut it inside, and there's a whole lot of green in there for him. Here in the bottom. All right, run action's coming at him. Yeah, you want to slow play it, but once this block takes place, you got to realize, hey, that's got to be a run. They're blocking downfield now. That's a run all day. So you need to come up as the corner here and fill on that edge in case that bounces out. On the bottom again. All right. Patient with it. Decent little mirror, but he does obviously lose leverage. Gives up the inside release here. Excuse me. This is cover one, so he's able to do that in their version of cover one. They do have that safety, so he actually is playing with the outside leverage. So he is okay on that. He does end up being in pretty good position. Fights to get into better position after a kind of a tough initial release for him. All right, bottom of the screen again. Nice smooth transition, just a little fast, but hey, look at what we do here. He's got his eyes on the hips. He's still maybe a little bit close. You want to give up maybe like a half a step on that. But look, he's got his eyes on it. He's able to read the hips of the receiver and break down right with that comeback. So, you really can't fault him on that. That's a good job. Now he's in position to play in that comeback, where we saw on other plays he was definitely not. All right, a motion in. That's going to be the run play going away. All right, now he can come in on the side. That thing breaks out. Now, once that breaks through the edge, he wants to be really basically a force player down the field. He wants to maintain leverage on that thing, but still press it and look to get involved a little bit more. We're going to skip some of his run stuff because a lot of the run stuff he just kind of keeps himself out of. Here at the bottom. All right. Against the run, all right, when that block takes place there, he really ends up kind of needing to replace that and be here in case any cutback takes place. On the bottom of the screen here, watch his footwork really closely here at the beginning. He takes kind of a funky little step forward, but he's able to recover from it. I think if it was a real quick release there, that could have put him in a bad spot. But he does have a good transition on this one. Bottom of the screen again. All right. So now he's engaging on it, right? We have a 3rd and 1 situation. He obviously understands the situation, understands this is a critical time for him to be able to come up and make a tackle if that's what he needs to do. All right, reacts to the run fast, is there for the cutback, and makes the play in the backfield. So he's capable of doing these things. He just doesn't always do them. Obviously, not the run support, not the top priority for an NFL corner, but definitely something that is needed at times. And, it is still important for them to be able to do that when it's needed. All right. Again, just flips his hips a little too quick. Now he's got to rally back and fight back to be in position on that when the receiver breaks inside in front of him. All right. That's the danger. You turn your hips too fast. You turn your hips before they get to you. You open yourself up for a hard inside release that you're not going to be able to adjust to. All right, pretty good transition here at the bottom of the screen. All right, again, like a little weird, funky forward step there for a second, but he's able to come back. Now, stop looking for the ball and lean on the route. All right, cut down that horizontal space. We'll go ahead and skip the run play on this one. All right, bottom of the screen, we're in cover 1. He's playing loose in cover 1. All right, real slow tempo. All right, route cuts in front of him. He's patient with him with his eyes in the backfield, which you can do when you're in that sort of position in loose man. skip a couple of runs here in a row. All right. Bottom of the screen. Oh, he's playing tight. Notices the threat of run here coming. Really, he needs to be aware of this jet motion coming out and start to extend himself, start to get a little bit wider on it, whether it's run or pass. They could be handing this thing off in the receiver motion, that jet motion. Either way, he's going to want to be in wire. It's going to put him in a better position because really the only thing they can do if this is a pass, the only thing this receiver's going to be able to do is run out to that flat. So he's going to want to be out there for that. So either way, he should be starting to get wider, put himself in a better position as that thing comes along. All right, bottom here. And he puts the guy down. He's going to end up getting a D holding call for that. He had a tough transition. He put himself in a bad spot, and he kind of fought, trying to get back to it, and he fought the wrong way. That's what really brought about that penalty. He's obviously got a tough release here with that receiver coming inside, and then he kind of over pursues it. So that's a tough position there. But hey, it's always better to take the penalty than to give up the touchdown, especially in that situation. If that's what they think is going to happen, it ends up being a sack here is negated. But definitely better to give him a new set of downs than to give him 6 points. I'm going to go ahead and get into the second half here. All right, again at the bottom. Pretty good job on the inside release there. Gets himself right under the man's shoulder where he can be in position, make the tackle for sure, but also be able to get that outside hand around, make a play on any ball thrown in that direction. Okay, digging him out in the run block there. Again, be a little bit physical on it and get up there, get involved. Once you're physically getting blocked on, it's not play action. You can get up there and get involved. All right, loose man here, way too quick to turn. All right, ends up being okay and ends up being in a pretty good position on the deep comeback there. All right, eyes are on the hips. He's able to anticipate that and come back with it. But if that's a dig route, he's going to have a problem because of how quickly he turned his hips. Seems to be a common issue with him. That's definitely something teams should be looking to do against him is run those dig routes. Okay, this is tough in the run game with the way it's coming. It's coming right at him. All right, but look what he does here. He's getting blocked on. He loses the guy. All right, and he's trying to get to the outside, really, to be that secondary contained player. So that's good instincts. That's where he wants to be, and that's a good job of being physical and getting off that block, losing that block. Okay, again, he's sticking with the route coming across here, getting the hand in there. That's probably going to be something that's going to draw a flag. With good look at it from the tight. All right. Yeah, you see, you can't really see too much. The receiver goes down like that. Lots of times something could be called on it. All right, a little bit different look here. So they're going to run a zone blitz here. We don't see a ton of that. So this is a 3 deep, 3 under coverage. With a 3 deep, 3 under coverage in a zone blitz, essentially the corners are playing like cover 4. They are responsible for the deep field zone, but they also are going to be playing up on hitches, things along those lines. They need to be able to react. So it's basically playing the deep outside third, but with a little bit more emphasis up front than you normally are, which is what you do in cover 4 because they're slow to get out into the zone in cover 4. All right, so he's a pretty good position on that. Again, he's not going to fly out of there. He is going to work out with it. Nothing else coming into that zone. He's going to work on top and outside of that route. Okay, the rookie on the other side ends up getting the pick 6 on it. All right, and then we're right back in business 2 plays later. All right, so that's really a cover 2 jam. He should be dropping off there. It's based on what's going on the other side of the formation. That's where that's the position he wants to be in. They lose something on the other side, obviously, with the wheel. Okay. Look at all this space he's given up. All right. We're in cover 1. Now it is a boot. So the big thing with the boot is you always want to be in a technique, not quite to that, right about here. All right, that's just about right. You want to be behind. So you want to be in front of it, but you also want to be kind of on the backside a little bit. And the reason for that is, even though it's a ridiculous throw, there is always the chance of the throwback that he can kind of sneak around back out here. You don't want to give that up. So that's why you stand in this position. It's still going to be a long throw. It's going to take a little time here. So in this position, you're in a real good spot. He kind of loses that right there. That's no good. That's a touchdown right there. If that's where Garoppolo's looking, that's going to be a touchdown. Now he kind of runs himself into coverage with this other man underneath. But he's got to maintain that position as we saw just a second ago. Right there. That's where he wants to be. He's got to keep fighting and staying at least on top of that and be in position to make a play if that ball is coming in that direction. Bottom of the screen again. All right. Real smooth little bicycle turn here. All right. That's what they call it, bicycle turn or speed turn. Basically, you screwed up. Your hips are in the wrong direction. So you turn 180 degrees. You flip your body completely around, getting back to it. And then he matches up with it real nicely there. So that's pretty smooth. That's pretty nice. The way he does that, because his hips are open too fast, getting back around out there, real smooth, nice transition. Nice little mood to have in your toolkit when you get yourself in those bad positions. Okay, so looking up top now. All right, we get the quick hitch there. Turns his hips a little fast, but staying on top of it. He really should be breaking for the upfield shoulder. They're cutting that out. They're going to try and hit it quick. You got to get down there quick on it. It was only a 3rd and 6, so that could have been a first down play there. All right, we're going to skip a couple more of these run plays here. Again, he's not always getting involved in the run. Gets a bit tedious looking at every single one of them. At the bottom here, he's the guy pressed. Okay, so he's getting blocked on. All right, but again, now he's getting a little bit physical with it. Not really getting involved in the run, but not shying away from the block when the guy comes on him. So you see he has some toughness. He's able to do those things. Even though he's not playing the run all the time, you see that he has the capability to do those things. All right, so now he's being pretty aggressive here, coming up on their run. Like we said before with the jet motion, now we got the tight end swiping around here, coming into the zone. He's fighting back, looking to get to it. That ends up getting picked up by the backer, and he starts to drop off a little bit more. All right, which is smart because he sees that thing's covered. He drops off. He realizes that there's almost always going to be some sort of levels going on with the boot play. On the bottom again, playing tight. really squared up with him. Nice little hips. All right, getting himself across there, real patient with it, doesn't go crazy when the outcut happens. And when he comes back in his side, he's able to stay on top of it. Bottom of the screen, flips his hips, stays with it. All right. And look at how he just stays with his hips through those couple of moves there. All right, that's real impressive. Right on the hip, stays with it. Guy works back up. He's still looking at his hip, stays right on him there. All right, he's going to be up top this time. Playing press on the hips. All right, and puts himself in good position there. So, opens his hip a little bit fast, right? Gives up the slant, fights back. Now he's really right where he wants to be on the slant because you're not going to be able to be underneath the slant most of the time, right? He's really right where he wants to be, right on top of it. Just a little looser than he'd like to be, but give him another second, he would have been there. And guess what? He got back there. He fought to get back there, got his eyes up. All right. And now when the ball is coming and it's a little off target, he's in position, and that's his pick. Okay, we'll skip around through some of this run game stuff here at the end. But we'll see him here up at the top. Great use of hands on this play. All right. Gets in there, gets the jam. Again, look at that. That's almost identical to that last play where he's at with the position on the inside release here. Boom, jams him with the hands, right on the outfield shoulder. Good position there. Up top again. Again, just getting a little bit ahead of things. But he's got good eyes and he's got good hips. He's able to lower, so he has been getting away with that a little bit, but just getting a little bit too tight with that sometimes. All right. So they're going to get the bunch here, and you're going to see he's not really going to do much of anything. Okay. But they've got basically four defenders playing three routes here. Right here, right here, right here, right here. So he's going to look for something coming deep and inside. He's going to look for something coming short and inside, short and outside, deep and outside. Really nothing comes to the deep outside. All right. You'll see how they match up like that. Okay. Nothing comes to that field zone. All right. So he's really reading the quarterback, looking to help out on anything in an adjacent zone. Up top here. Just bails too fast. All right, should be getting depth and width when that route comes inside. It's going to put him in better position to make a play on this route. All right, as that second route comes inside. Always want to be aware of that next guy in zone. All right, somebody's going in, somebody's coming out in zone. Okay, he bicycle turns, gets around to it. All right, but if he recognizes that and kind of falls off, gets into this zone, he's going to have his hips in better position, be in better position to come up there and make a play on it faster. Top of the screen here, we get a short motion. He bails off. All right, nothing really coming into his zone. Starts to work back. Play goes away from him. Cover 3 look here is going to be up top once again. All right, so he's in a bail technique. All right, he's letting him run across. You can see he's in 3 there, bailing out, showing press, and then bailing out on that. Here's the last drive. Again, he's up top, playing loose, matches up with it. He stays on top this time, so he does a good job with that. He stays on top, doesn't turn his hips too fast, and when it comes in, he's able to stay on top of it and maintain good position. That's a good job there. Get on top, works out as that route comes out, matches up with it. Now get a block. Now, he's really got to get in there and get a block. They got an interception on that. His teammate, the safety, is coming right for him. He really needs to get in there and get a block. They're in position where they could be, turning this thing into a touchdown. This could easily be a pick 6. It's the game is a bit out of hand at the moment, but it doesn't matter. You're not going to get all these opportunities to score touchdowns on defense. So you got to make the most of it. You got to help your teammate make the most of it. He's coming right there. He should be getting a block on one of these guys coming in into that area, trying to spring him, trying to free him up. All right, so that's what we got on Xavier Rhodes for this week. Check back, make sure you subscribe and check back. We'll be doing this every week. So next week we'll have another corner we'll be looking at the play, looking at every play, and examining what they did in that game and what it is about their